Hey, Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome to the Chaos Mode game. It is a new day, a new dawn, and we have new yields. Our deserts now give us production, and our desert hills give production, gold, and science. Although I think it's actually meant to be gold and science, which is kind of a crazy set of yields. In fact, I really like the fact that Plains Hills now give 2 culture, and grassland, as well as plains, both give +1 production. Just 1 production, no food, no nothing. So the yields have shuffled around. Grassland hills are now 3 food, 1 gold, which is kind of a unique set of yields there. And then when it comes to snow, I haven't actually... Wait, actually, I have discovered snow now. I discovered snow in the last episode. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, so snow is worth, it looks like, 1 food, 1 production, and snow hills are 2 production, 1 gold. And then tundra, it seems... I can't actually tell what tundra is. Looks like tundra is 2 food, 1 production. So, like, the yields have been shuffled. The ocean, oh my god, look how much production the ocean is worth now. Jesus. What's coastline worth? 1 production and 1 culture? Oh, no, that's from that. So, okay, a lot of production from coastal cities. I kind of regret not settling coastally now. Very little food on the map again, which is why we're glad that we're actually very set up for food gain. Now, we are finally back into a golden age, which does mean we have to give up that nice trading Dark Age policy card, but we do have the advantage of Heartbeat of Steam now, which is going to give us plus production equal to the science adjacency of our campuses, which is massive, I might add. Merchant Confederation Charismatic Leader. I'm fine with Charismatic Leader. I'm happy with Retainers. I don't think I really want to change around my government too much. I'm quite happy with how things are. Maybe Triangular Trade would have been better, but I don't have the room to plug it in. I kind of want to go for, if I could, Big Ben. If I could get Big Ben, that'd actually be a big advantage. My problem is, I could get it in Bananarama. Theoretically, I could get the Big Ben in Bananarama, but I'd have to get the bank. And to get the bank, I'd have to pay money next turn. I could build the Big Ben in 22 turns to get an extra economic policy card, and that seems super worth it, to be honest. I think the Forbidden Palace has already been built, which is a bit unfortunate. The Big Ben bonus. I see you hate Timo as well. Listen, my friend... Stitch, who may or may not be watching actually, he was a Timo main, and there is something magical about hearing like a 30-year-old man giggle wildly as people chase him through his mushrooms, okay? It is a magical experience that I recommend everyone try. It's just listening to someone be entertained beyond their wildest dreams by the fact that they have triggered an opponent with their mushroom. I don't know if Shipyard's the right call here. I do feel like I should spend my money on the observatory. Let's sell off our cotton for raw gold. That'll give me enough money to come into Bananarama and actually buy the bank. And then in the next couple turns, we will slap down das Big Ben, the Big Bennis. We'll drop it on that wheat tile right there, the maize. The random tiles don't seem to like food. It seems quite rare for tiles to roll food. We are ready now with Reina, maximum contractor. So our gold now is quite valuable as a way for us to actually get districts, which is pretty damn powerful. So in a few turns, I'll be able to buy a district here in Kevin. How's it going, Kevin? In fact, this shall be Paul, me, Kevin, right? We've upgraded the city. Now it's a famous YouTuber, right? Imagine if it was that easy. God, it sure would have saved me a lot of time. Tips to start a YouTube gaming channel. If you haven't already started it, you probably shouldn't. I could sit here and talk for days about how to do it. Your best bet is really, honestly, is to just DM me. I'm more than happy to spend a little bit of time with each person, ask them a few questions about what they want their channel to be about, and then actually like give a few tips. But most of the information I'd be able to give you, you can find online from people who are more charismatic and have more experience. Sussy Baka has an observatory. It sounds like the start of a nursery rhyme. Sussy Baka has an observatory. What else would I get? I have an observatory in here. I feel like I'm missing a commercial hub or a harbour. This is on a lake and I could turn these lake tiles into something useful. But on the other hand, I could also go for a commercial hub or maybe a holy site or something like that. Alternatively, there is potential here. There's not really much potential in this area for many districts, right? Because we're a little bit jammed. I could maybe put a district on this tile because that'll give adjacency to both of these and guarantee +1 on both. If I was going to do a district there, if we're looking at this city, Sussy Baka, it would probably be, it doesn't need an industrial zone. I mean, the entertainment complex would give adjacency, like amenities to a bunch of these cities nearby. So I think that's what we'll go for. We'll just go for the entertainment here just to provide AoE amenities. I think one of the biggest problems that people have when they want to start a YouTube channel and become a YouTuber is they get paralyzed at the beginning phase. And this is honestly a big challenge you'll face in every area of your life if you're like a normal person. Like most people, when they want to find someone to start a relationship, there'll be a bit of okay, I don't know how to do this. I'm a bit confused. What if things don't go right? Right? There's all these like weird anxious questions that you'll get. You'll kind of ask yourself, and you'll kind of paralyze yourself a little bit with fear. And a big thing that you need to realize is that it's all right to kind of make a fool of yourself. It's all right to do things wrong, because the getting started part is the important bit. It's just doing it, like putting yourself out there. Obviously, now in the context of dating, obviously do that carefully. People are crazy out there, right? People are crazy on Maine. Be careful. But in the context of a YouTube gaming channel, you have to kind of like, you have to kick a ball to know what you're doing wrong. Do you know what I mean? You have to do it a bit to know what you're doing wrong. And then usually, most art or things that people do, it comes from somewhere. It comes from something. So like if you have a YouTuber you really like watching, make what they make. Do what they do. Just straight up copy them. You're not big enough for it to matter, right? You're just not going to be big enough for it to matter right now. So just copy someone, and then you'll learn, okay, actually, this isn't how I like how to do things, right? You think Black Sabbath like just started making Black Sabbath out of nowhere? No, they copied other bands. They copied the bands that came before them. They started out playing other people's riffs, and then they were like, actually, this riff is really cool, but what if I did this, but added like my own little like twang here? I put a little bit of like my own musical flair into it, and that's how you really get started. Imitate, don't copy. No, I'm saying straight up just copy. Like actually just copy them. Like if you're learning music, you're not writing your own music from day one. You're fine. You're like playing Led Zeppelin. You know what I mean? You're playing Led Zeppelin on the guitar. That's how people learn. Wow. Are you kidding me? I destroyed this resource for no reason? Did somebody really build the Big Ben? But here's the thing. You don't copy them forever. You copy them just for long enough to learn what it is about what they do that you like, and then how you put your own spin on things. That's what you're copying them to do. That's the goal. That's the plan. Do I actually want a stock exchange? It's probably not a terrible idea. I mean, it's a lot of gold. Are we powered yet? We do have industrialization. So I could come in here and get myself a factory and stock exchange, which I will be doing after the Colosseum. Here's the thing. We can go back and we can watch when I made videos from like 5-6 years ago. My videos are terrible. Absolutely shockingly bad. But I got better because I kept doing it, because I wasn't looking at those first videos as like, okay, this is my chance to become a YouTuber. I was looking at this like, I'm just like with dating or practicing or going to meet people. It was like, okay, I'm just going to do this until I'm good at it. And the actual end goal is like basically irrelevant. That's what you need to do, in my opinion. Now, that advice isn't going to work for everyone. Some people don't work like that. But if you think that advice could apply to you, it's probably worth trying. I got my spy back. Let's see. Anchor Tom might be a good spot because I could steal gold from there. I like your back catalog. I'm talking like super old stuff, like way back when I had like barely any confidence in front of the microphone, when I had barely any ability to talk. Also, I should probably actually talk about the game and what I'm doing, because we've been talking kind of like shop talk for a while. Boom. Lovely. There's the Colosseum. Happy days. We also unlocked sanitation. This is an insane amount of amenities to be getting this late into the game. Kind of baffled, actually, that nobody took it. Now, in my capital, I think I want to go for the factory and the coal power plant, because it would be nice to pick up that very juicy +5 production from that coal power plant. And I may, in fact, go for a second industrial zone. Yeah, do you know what? I kind of like the idea of a second industrial zone like here, with the purpose of being a way to spread AoE, like an oil power plant. Because I'm not far off picking up oil power. So being able to get an oil power plant and give +3 production to every city in range, again, would be a big advantage alongside the factory. Speaking of, instantly builds a factory and workshop. Kind of wish I could grab old James Watt there. What great generals or great engineers have gone? Okay, none of the great engineers that I love have gone. We do want to pick up the engineering points soon. We got a university and horrific pizza. Let's grab our banks. Money. Just every resource we can get. I very rarely do I actually build banks, to be honest. It's rare. It's rare that I build a bank. And it's even rarer that I build a stock exchange. Now we are in monopolies and corporations mode. So in, for example, my capital, I do think might be worth it to build a stock exchange and build a few products. I could get 5 cotton products. That's really only for military production, though, is the problem, which I don't care too much about. Do you know what? Let's get stock exchanges. I rarely do I go for stock exchanges. Let's do it. Oh man, look at these tiles. I should maybe consider a harbour in Horrific Pizza. Maybe I shouldn't have gone commercial hub and I should have gone harbour. Starting to look apparent that that's what I should have done. Norway is denouncing me again. He can stay mad and be mad, kid, because I have just stealing his gold. Oh, we actually built Kilwa. I completely forgot we were building this wonder. This is incredible. Now, if I get double suzerainty of a city-state like Kabul and Wolin, I actually build units at like an insane pace in Copenhagen. And so we got 60 production in here. We got 72 production in here. If I wanted to build a unit in this city, right, I could build a field cannon in 3 turns. And I can do it similarly in this city. Wait, why is it so much faster in here? That makes no sense. Oh, that's because this city actually has the cotton. Yeah. So, yeah, I can actually, with the cotton industry and the Kilwa in combination of double suzerainty of militaristic city-states, I can actually go insane right now with military production in my capital. Plus, I'm vampires, so I could actually choose to kill Norway now. I'm technologically ahead of them. It may actually be the move to kill Norway this game, expand my empire, and just get really far ahead, because there's nothing really much I can do in this era. So I'll suppose, maybe after I get my factory and my coal power plant, I will start to absolutely crank out bombards and stuff. It might have been good to have gotten... I did actually get an armory, which is kind of interesting too. Yeah, I think we're going to expand our empire here. So in Kopan Kabanan, commercial hub, theater square, observatory, do I really need that culture? I think if we're going to be going to war, we should really put our focus on war. We're at our maximum niter. Let's start producing bombards. I will keep garrisons. We'll get our vampires moving. You head over, you garrison, bombard moves down. The nice thing is too, I'm actually starting to get railroads going. Speaking of railroads, let's get another military engineer. I might just get like 2 more military engineers so I can fully railroad my empire and then railroad into Norway as well. It's going to be the best way to resupply troops to the front line. Ayuthia, nice to meet ya. What's your mission actually? Opera and ballet. Ew. I want to build an art museum? What's gross? Get away from me. They are pretty good though if you can get suzerainty of them. And they are the most likely one that I could get. That would be a culture boost right now. What I really want is double suzerainty of money and science guys too. I'm going to take Hunza again. Boosh. Hey Potato, what kind of run are you doing? This is a totally chaotic, insane run that's being live streamed right now on youtube.tv and twitch.com. Nice, you found some tribal villages. You found Valletta and Laventa. Kind of like mishmash those names. Oh man, Bandar Brunei and Geneva. It looks like this is where all the barb camps were. We've got so many options for city-states now. This is delightful. So we built a neighborhood in Skedsmo in order to give this city a little bit of housing. This city definitely needs a pair of builders. It has a outgoing trade route, which is good. We got our entertainment complex in Susibaka. Shoot the zombie. Railroad complete. Horseman kill, thank you. Would be good to get a medic. This city doesn't really have massive production, so maybe I'll get it to produce something a little bit cheaper. A few bombards for the front line, can't hurt. Call Me Kevin is ready to buy a district. Now, if we're thinking about Call Me Kevin's long-term development, it depends on if we're going to go fight the Cree today or not. Potato, are you a Keys cow in Filipino? I have no idea what that means, dude. You've asked me a few times. Why do you not have the camera on? Because it's just a thing that I don't always have on. That's why. Now, if we want, in Call Me Kevin, if we want the city to be like a military production place, it's unlikely that's what the city is going to do because it doesn't have the land for it. I guess theoretically it could if I like retools things slightly. Yeah, I think the city just needs a little bit more growth. I could get an industrial zone in here as well, which would give me some power projection. I could buy a theater square, put it on this hill. That would give me +1 adjacency on both of these guaranteed instead of that hill. Probably the right move. Yeah. Kind of wish I'd put that entertainment complex here and then I could have gone theater square. That would have actually been a lot better. Kind of making big regrets right now. Tell you what I'll do. I'll swap this maze over and I'll go ahead and I'll purchase myself a theater square right there on that tile. I have a little bit of grievances against Norway, which is nice. And I have the option to do a formal war if I so choose. I would like to swap this city's tiles, but I don't really have anything to swap them to. Everything is being worked, unfortunately. Probably say don't focus on food, though, because the city just has, like, no need for food anymore. Housing limit's way too high. There's mobilization. Let's pick up mobilization so we can combine our units together into bigger units. Sitting on 7 envoys. Let's grab Valletta. Being able to purchase city center buildings and encampment district buildings with faith is actually a big advantage for me. Because I have a few encampments, like, lying around, like, in my capital. Like, if I can just get the armory for 400 faith. Boom. That's another 3 production in this city. That's pretty worth, in my opinion. Lovely. We got our first archaeologist, which means we can start digging up some of these. A zombie appeared. What is this? Digging up this artifact caused a zombie to appear. All right, then. Not sure what that means or what that logically implies. Observatory Theatre Square Commercial Hub. Bananarama is essentially fully built. It doesn't need any more districts for the rest of the game. Now, we could get more districts. I think we're going to go for the industrial zone, purely so that we can spread around the oil power plant bonuses. Oh, we found the Club of Hercules. Beautiful. Lovely, 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 lovely. I disturbed the dead? That seems a bit of a stretch for digging up. I guess I did dig up artifacts. Like, sure. No, it just seems a little weird to me. There's the Gaul, who's the final player in the game, who I think is, I was going to say he's the tech leader. He's the mysterious person who's been ahead on tech this entire game that we've been trying to find. How is he standing on the science thing? He does have rocketry, so that's kind of spooky. He is quite a bit ahead of us. He's 5 techs ahead. It's good to know that we're 5 techs away from potentially a science victory. So killing Norway is going to be a detour to try and catch up with Gaul. All right, there's oil power plants. Lovely. We got to appease the gods. I don't think I'm going to try to avoid doing any, like, yeeting any of my units into volcanoes. I guess in theory, this could be pretty valuable, actually. It's not like my other game where I get huge value from being able to do stuff with the volcano, like the soothsayers. There's electricity. I'll grab rifling. I'll grab military science and rifling. So I definitely want a coal power plant in my capital. Ruhr Valley would be a nice meme, but I don't think I can afford to build it when I'm ready to go for war. It's got to be bombard spam. Bombards and cavalry. I feel like artillery and cavalry is just like the perfect combo in every era. There's no reason to ever really do much else. Shouldn't you just cancel out everything to make units? Well, not necessarily, because I can't make units efficiently in every city. Like, for example, Call Me Kevin. It's only 24 production. This city is 63. So, like, sure, I can make units everywhere, but I can continue to build important infrastructure in a couple of these cities. Like 1, 2, 3, 4 cities are continuing, and like none of these things are very far away from being finished. Like my capital crank out a unit every 2 turns. That's insane. 3 turns over here. Like these cities are well capable of managing my war machine for me. I will be bringing all my vampires to the front line though. Sinbad eating barbarians for gold. Thank you. We're going to gain sources in the Khmer cities and then start stealing gold from them. That's our main objective here, is just to yeet gold away from them. Oh, another tornado outbreak. Not too far from me. I'll shoot this guy. The zombies are getting pretty strong now. 52 combat strength is not ignorable. I will go ahead and combine my courses together because I'd rather have stronger units than more units. That's my personal preference. Upgrade this man-at-arms to a musketeer so we can fight these zombies. We got our stock exchange in Xbox. The city is strong enough to contribute to the war effort, so probably get a few horsemen. There's Nan Madol and the circumnavigation of the world. Nan Madol is actually a pretty good city-state. I'm kind of glad that I found all the city-states now in the late game. I was wondering where they all were hiding. New districts work as culture bombs. I will take that, thank you. Although it's probably not necessary. Double points towards great scientists would be cool. And then we'll also do World's Fair. And sure, I'll vote for myself to get Diplo victory points. Probably won't happen, but it's fine. Great scientists are doubled, culture bombs, and Harold won. Okay, well, the good news is we're going to be killing Harold. So that's not a big deal. World's Fair, so this is about generating great people points. I make 50 great people points per turn on the old great scientist front. It's a lot of zombies. Right, I am going to have to use a vampire here to help out. You kill there. You step back and shoot there. You create the railroad. You shoot this lad. A lot of zombies here in the mid to late game appearing. Not that I don't mind. It's fine. Buy escape on foot. He was captured in Norway. Let's just go ahead and buy him back. He's not willing to give me my spy back. That's fine. Now, building railroads is a bit of a double-edged sword because, yes, it does give me big advantages in troop movement, but it also causes CO2 emissions, which is going to start hurting the climate in general. Now, I'm not very coastal, so I'm not going to suffer too hard from the old flooding of the world, but still, it's something to keep in mind. Let's talk about our plan to kill Norway. I reckon we go Bergen, Nidaros, Alesund, Sarpsborg, Kristiansand, Hamar. We go down and around. That's the way we hit them. Pop this bombard over here, combine them together. You're the city defender, so you can stay there. Oh, it looks like a very, very nice volcano over here. My nephew had I'm up 2 flights of stairs. My nephew was standing on the second flight of stairs with a whoopee cushion, and he was stamping on it to get my attention. So, you know, welcome to my life. Copious amounts of whoopee cushions are involved. Dude, what has happened to Canada? Oh my god. Where are you, Canada? Oh, they're over here. They must have just lost all their units to zombies. Tough to the breaks. I think we'll build oil power plants a little bit later. For now, I reckon it's all about that cavalry. Probably should plug in the card that makes units cheaper. I'll do that in 2 turns. Units cheaper to upgrade, I mean, specifically. Let's faith purchase a military academy in Skedsmo. Give the city even more production, which I'm quite happy about. The city is quite good at producing units. I'll do the same in my capital here. Oh, I accidentally spent all my thingies. Damn. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll buy the military academy with gold, because then I can switch from producing bombards to producing bombard cores, which are just better. Strictly just better. Do the twins resurrect zombies? I'm pretty sure they do. Let's get them. Let's get the twins. Combine these musketeers together. Sinbad's done a great job for me exploring the world. I super appreciate how much effort he's put into circumnavigating. He's actually found out so much info for me. +7 for core. When you upgrade your cores, they get +10 combat strength. So if we see here, this bombard is 55-65. This bombard is 45-55, which is roughly speaking a 50% increase in the amount of damage that they do. And then if you add another bombard core, they get +7, which from a baseline unit is like another 50% because it scales non-linearly. I think +10 combat strength is double damage, +10 combat strength is 50% more damage, +17 is 100% more damage. So that's why it scales the way it does. I've almost got a full army here. I'm definitely going to move this cavalry off and put a bombard on this tile so we can start hammering Bergen very soon. I would say that next turn is a reasonable turn to declare war. Right, with rifling, we have now unlocked the reinforced barricade, which I will be maybe potentially building with my military engineers. It's kind of neat. Fortunately, I am low on iron, so I need to go hunting for a source of iron. There is iron inside these mountains, but I would need tunnels to even get them. It's literally, by the way, the only source of iron on this continent is this one that's inside these mountains. There is no other source of iron over here, right? All of the sources of iron landed on the other continent. Deep inside the mines of Moria, okay? You'll find the most precious metal known to man, mithril. Dude, how sick would it be if we had a fantasy magical version of Civ where you go like you improve your mithril and you do all your sort of... I want the Civ designers to make a fantasy Civ game. How sick would it be? It would be so good, dude. Let's talk to the Gauls while they still like me. And it's like, hey, what I want to buy are strategic resources. I want to buy iron on the cheap. So for 1,000 gold and 13 gold per turn, I can get 1,300 iron. I'll take that deal. I mean, mods kind of do the job, sure. But I want like, triple, not even AAA, just a good, really solid, like alt history, fantasy civilization game. Like I want it to be Civilization 6, Wizards and Warlords. You know what I mean? I don't want it to be like some indie mod or whatever. I want the Flay de Shay, the big chachona. All right, we will be declaring a formal war on Norway and beginning the blasting of a city. Oh my god, the damage! Oh, he didn't stand a chance. 3 kills, baby. 7 great general points. I forgot that I'm suzerain of like some sick-ass city-states. Oh my god, there's so many coastal wonders available. Did nobody settle the coastline? Taj Mahal, or Mausoleum, Statue of Liberty, Colossus, Great Lighthouse. I could build them all. And I will build them all. City doesn't have a trade route. I think its trade route got killed. So I'll buy another trade route here soon. Hang on, let me sell some stuff. Let's put a point into Bandar Brunei because that'll give us +2 gold in every market and lighthouse. Boom, and that's like worth 30 gold right now. I'm going to be keeping builders on hand to help repair and rebuild. Cavalry, I need lots more cavalry. I've got cavalry being pumped out by 3 cities. Bombards pumped out by my capital. So I think we're in good shape. This city for sure just needs to get a field cannon. PotatoMcWhiskey, have you tried any of the Conquest of Elysium series? Yeah, I have. And my opinion on those games is that they're really, really fun, but they're very, very shallow. I want to like them, but they're just not as good as they should be. They suffer the same problem that a lot of indie forex games have, which is that at a certain point, not a lot happens when you hit end turn, but you have to do... There's like an inverse relationship, okay? When you're playing a forex game, okay? So like, let's say we're playing a forex game, and this should probably be like a 3-dimensional graph, and this is like turns, and then this is fun actions. So like, In like a game like Civ, you start off like the amount of fun you get per action is like pretty good. And then it goes up a little bit in like the mid game, and then it kind of slowly declines until the end of the game. All right. So this would be a Civ. So this is the amount of fun you have per action you put into a game of like Civ 6. For a game like Conquest of Elysium, you might start like here, and then very rapidly the number of actions you have to do just continues to increase, and the amount of fun you have with the game just never reaches where it should have been. This is why Civ is so. This is why so many people stop playing Civ. This is like industrial era. This is where things get complicated and hard to play, and that's when most people stop playing because they've had all of this fun here and they don't play to the end. And Conquest of Elysium, this is how I would say it. It just throws so many actions at you, and the meaning of each action is so small and useless and pointless. You know, that I want to like the game, but it requires. Here's my problem. Okay, another graph. Okay, I can simplify my theory. Num of actions, fun. Okay, this is like a direct relationship. The more actions you make me take, the less fun I'm having in your game. Okay, if I can do a few, like micro isn't fun unless you're insane. Okay. Simple. Nobody wants to micro. Okay, a little bit of micro is so you got to have, but you'll notice that like at the front of that graph there was a place where some micro was actually fun. The problem is when the amount of micro that you demand from me grows too large, I check out of your game and I'm done, and I'm just already done, because in that very early game I'm having a ton of fun, but once it gets to that mid game and you're asking way too many actions of me as a player to achieve very little, when each action is having a very, very small impact on the game, but like it's actually required for me to make 10 actions to do something that would have taken me 4 actions in the early game, right, to do that. But it just feels like, because I have a huge sprawling empire, that in the early game building a new city, that was like I clicked settler once, that's 1 action, and I settled a city. 2, that's 2 actions. Boom, I had a city settled in 2 actions. And there weren't a whole lot of actions in between that. But now in the late game, I click settler, and then I have to go manage 4 cities. I have to fight a war, and I have to like manage my diplomacy. And then by the time I get back, I'm like, oh, this settler, this is actually what I wanted to be doing this entire time. And everything else I had to do to get to settling this city was actually just busy work that I hated. And then boom, I checked out of your game and I don't want to play it anymore. That is the biggest challenge that any forex game designer will face, hands down. And it is the biggest barrier to the genre becoming bigger. And that's part of that's legitimately part of why my late game strategy is to just go through my cities, do this, spam campus research grants as I micromanage my spaceports. You need to give players tools to get around the micromanagement of your game, in my opinion. Yeah, it's called the churn. I call it the churn for a reason. We're in the churn right now a little bit, which is why I'm talking to chat so much. It is getting to the point now where these zombies are actually a legitimate threat. They're up to 65 combat strength, which is a lot more than I would be comfortable fighting usually. But we'll bring them down slowly but surely. Like, think about this. What I want to be doing right now is fighting this war over here. But what I have to do is go through all of my cities and like fight these zombies that are appearing, which is part of why the zombie mode isn't quite as fun as it should be. And then I have to be like, okay, I actually really don't care about what the city is building because I don't care about a military academy. I don't care about this. So technically the game gives me the option to like do that, right? But it's not enough. Do I want sewers in horrific pizza? It might actually improve the quality of the pizza. You never know. What the hell am I doing in this city? Ooh, harbor to improve these fishing boat tiles because the city will actually eventually grow to these. All right, Bergen is almost dead. Is there anything I want to pillage before we kill it? Nah, unlikely. So I don't want to take the city with you. I have depredation now, which is like the best promotion. Let's kill the trebuchet. 8 great general points. We'll level you up. Vampire forward, bombard forward, bombard forward. We should be railing into Norway's lands with our railroads. Will give us the movement speed we need. My god, stop Creed. Jesus. Actually, cultists in this mode could be pretty dope. Alright, Sussy Baka is defended. Bring this field cannon down. Why can't you shoot him? Because it's a hill, right? Yeah. Boosh. Boosh. Kablooey. He killed my builder, but I saved the builder, so that's fine. Rare for a zombie to go after a builder, to be honest. We got another bombard army over here, and it's great because we can teleport to the front line, thanks to the technology of railway. Boom. recall, teleport. That's right, I've got anime bombard cannons. Nobody expected it. Turn you into a cavalry. Ooh, I forgot to equip the card that makes upgrading units cheaper. See, this is another thing, right? You start forgetting things because you have to take so many actions. Like, oh yeah, I need to change my government. And then you have that thought, and then you go to like 5 other things, and then you've already forgotten. Like, you just don't remember. Big problem with the genre. Another trade killer appeared here. God damn it. Cuirassiers are slightly stronger than cavalry, although I like cavalry because of their pillaging power and high movement speed. And the whole too many actions and none of them matter. That's actually why I really, really like the game Old World, because Old World forces you to have limited actions. You can only do so many things in a single turn. And so you have to really choose, like, man, how badly do I want to build this, tile improvement? How badly do I want to move this unit? Do I even want to attack? Do I want to fortify this unit? Because every single action in that game is dictated by a currency, which sounds like really terrible because you're like, man, I really don't want to be, thinking about whether or not I want to do an action. I just want to be able to take actions. But honestly, that is the biggest innovation in forex games in a very, very long time. And I'm really, really super pissed that he thought of it before I could make the game, because it was actually, I would say it was about like a year before Old World, I had started writing like down ideas for forex games. And I was like, man, there needs to be a way to like limit the actions a player takes. And I had a system where there were like tiers to actions. It was like a pyramidal. So you would have like, let's say you are a king. A king might have a lot of these like country level actions, like changing laws, right? This would be like laws. Then you might have like moving units, building infrastructure, and then you would have like diplomacy. So you might have like, I don't know, let's say a typical turn, you might have one country law you can change, and then you might get like a diplomacy action, and you get like a building action, and then you can move 3 units, right? Or you can like trade a building action for 3 more moving units. So you don't build as much infrastructure this turn, but you can move more units. And then like a king, maybe they get +1 to country laws. And then maybe you can also assign counts who will take some resources, but they'll give you like an extra moving unit action, but it's like a higher level moving unit action that allows you to move 3 units just vaguely in a direction rather than micromanage them. And it was like a way to change how a player interactions, because I actually really do think that the biggest innovation coming for 4X games is going to be something that deals with this. There has to be an economy of actions for players. Now, there will always be space for 4X games with infinite actions, because that's more like a God game, right? But I'm talking about if you want a really, really tight 4X experience, there's going to have to be some sort of economy of actions implemented. It just has to be, in my opinion. Right, boom, we'll kill there. The pike and shot is quite strong. I can maybe get a kill with my vampire soon. I'll need to make more field cannons, actually. Kabul is already starting to flood. I think we've started the apocalypse now that we're starting to burn coal. Or at the very least, we should be burning coal. Oh, do you know what it is? I'm using coal to build things. I definitely want to get supply convoys here. This will give +1 movement to my artillery, which means they'll be able to move and shoot. Oh, apparently Norway has like fully controlled some zombies. Interesting. Pillage. 18 turns on that. Let's run around and pillage. Pillage that next turn. Definitely want nuclear program for science foundations here. It's a ton of great scientist points, which is key for me in the late game. I do have a Norwegian caravel here, which I don't love. Thankfully, I do have field cannons capable of shooting into the water to slow him down and get rid of him. You can see nicely my network of railroads is starting to come together. I'm missing one over here, but I can more or less reach most of my empire now in a single turn with any unit from pretty much anywhere, thanks to the rail. I'll need a little bit more, but I give a lot more credit to rail than I used to. I used to think rail was completely useless, because I used to do this thing where anything that like wasn't necessary for me to win the game was useless. And I've now starting to develop as a player. I'm starting to appreciate the journey of doing fun things in the game, like making giant rail networks, as being in of themselves fun to do, and actually having a little bit of value in of themselves as well. Yes, we are railing Norway, okay? We are railing into Norway, okay? Get the jokes over with now. Get them out of your system, all right? I've seen them far too many times for it to be a coincidence. People are obsessed. I do really wish we could automate railroad building. I'll agree with you there, Alicia. It is a pain in the nads to manually move a engineers around to make railroads. Let's buy our coal power plant in the capital. This should significantly increase my gold income because there's a couple of stock exchanges near my capital. It'll also give me a nice chunk of production in here too, as well as a really, really good industrial zone for my citizens to work. We're up to 122 production in here, which is pretty damn tasty. God, I love high-speed pillaging. It's so powerful. Being able to pillage things in one turn gives you immeasurable power as a player. We got Hanapu and Thingy. You know what I should do? I should probably upgrade a line infantry, because right now my vampires are 72 combat strength. If I take line infantry, they should be 80 base combat strength. They should be a little bit stronger, basically. Some units over here I could fight. I think that's enough military to win that war. I think we can go back to building economic things like amphitheaters and banks. A locomotive trader to make railways, that would be sick as hell if they could implement it into the game. Right, let's combine these lads together. We've now got a cavalry army, super powerful unit. I'm looking for a supply convoy. Do you know what? I'll grab a supply convoy in my capital. High speed, low drag. Let's go, baby. Jesus, the production in this city is absolutely abysmal. Abysmal. Oh, feckin' Christ. A zombie horde has appeared. I need that Left 4 Dead noise to play now. All right, where's my bulwark against the zombie hordes? Yeah, they're here. Man, they are here and they are ready. Hopefully zombies can't use railroads and just like teleport all over my empire to cause me issues. That'd suck. All right, Bananarama is under threat. Must defend the bananas. I'm sitting on 9 envoys. Can I get suzerainty of things that matter? I've got 1 suzerainty of a gold city-state. I'd like to get a second. It would take basically every single envoy I had to do that. I could instead get suzerainty of Ayutthaya and get 10% of my production as culture instead. I think that's more worthwhile, getting a nice culture boost here at this stage of the game. All right, Nidaros, your time has come. Kabloom, kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. Delightful. Absolutely obliterate that city in a single turn. I like how I've built a railway all the way through Norway's land right up to Nidaros that I'm about to capture. I love this. I'm going to run in here, pillage, and then zip away. Just zip away with my cavalry, free as a bird. Cannot catch me, okay? Catch me if you can. I am Leonardo. Yoink, heal and run away. This is so annoying. I did this to Daltos in multiplayer once, where I just built all of the cavalry in the entire world, spammed them at him, and then pillaged his entire empire to the ground. And there was basically nothing he could do because I wasn't trying to capture his cities, and I was just running past him, pillaging all of his lands. He was just like, there's nothing I can do. I'm watching you burn my civilization to the ground and there's nothing I can do. And I got thousands of science, thousands of gold, thousands of culture from it. And most importantly, I got to see Dalto's rage that day. That was the most important bit. All right, let's pick up refining. It would be good to have oil. Oil is useful because you can turn it into artillery as well as oil power plants. The Kree are seriously starting to really piss me off. These cultists have been running around inside my territory for fecking ages. I'm really tempted to go just murder the Kree. I know it's Peace and Reconciliation Day, right? But they started it, okay? How to get banned on YouTube. All right, let's take out Nidaros. Boom. Hermetic or Elsman Nerva discovered. Lovely. Do you think... Hi, Potato. What do you think about the AI in Civ 6? And do you think human-level AI will be game-changing? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I actually don't think that AI is actually an important issue in forex games or games in general. I think really players kind of deceive themselves into thinking that they want to play against AI that plays against players. But in reality, playing against AIs that play like players is really frustrating. You can see this in certain games where the AI will like retreat weak units and, you know, focus fire the units onto your units. And what that does is it shows that some games, when they're designed for players to play against players, they actually break down because the mechanics of the game don't work in that format. However, I think it's far more interesting to think of AIs as like player speed bumps. Okay, now I know that sounds dumb, but I mean, in the sense that an AI is a challenge to a player, but he's not trying to be a human. An AI is there to tell a story, okay? Right? And that's why I think the personalities of individual leaders in Civilization 6 is so great. A lot of people are like, ugh, why does Canada hate me because XYZ agenda? This is the best part of the AI in the game because it means every AI is slightly different and you'll have to interact with them differently. Now, I would say that it's a little bit poorly implemented. It needs work, but it is along the right idea. An AI is An AI player is an engine to tell a story to a single player in the game, okay? We don't need human level AI because an AI is a vehicle for a player to reach a sort of self-actualized, feeling of power or whatever it is that the player is looking for in a game. So, for example, if you are in a war with an AI, you don't want to fight another player in a war, okay? You can do that in multiplayer. What you actually want is you want an interesting challenge. And the problem people have with AI right now is that the AI is either too easy or too hard. What you really want in a perfect world, you want an AI that is exactly as good as a player that's playing the game, but ever so slightly worse. So that AI almost beats them most of the time, occasionally beats the player, and rarely loses spectacularly. You want, because you want the player to feel like they overcame a challenge that was just about perfectly at their skill level and the mood that they're in. Because sometimes you want an AI player that's actually really easy to fight because you're just looking to kind of screw around and have a little bit of fun. So yeah, it's not as simple as we need human level AI. I actually think that's a really narrow viewpoint to look at AIs in games. It's far more complicated. I think I'm going to take Raj here, of all things. No, Diplomatic League. I'm sitting on a lot of envoys, so I could get serious value from just dumping AIs or things into a bunch of city-states. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. I just got eight envoys with a whole bunch of city-states. I don't know how to exactly explain what I'm saying with the AI thing, but think of it, an AI is just a vehicle for telling a story about the player's experience rather than a way for a game developer to create a perfect AI, a perfect human level artificial intelligence. So I'm going to pop the supply convoy down here with my artillery. And now the good news is my artillery is now really, really fast. They are high speed, low drag units, and they're going to get the job done. So because my supply convoy is next to all of my bombard corps, they'll have 3 movement next turn, which is going to be extremely useful for pushing Alisund. Let's get the Ruhr Valley just for memes. Why not? 13 turns on the Ruhr. It's a 20% production boost in my capital. There's a few mines in here as well. We got an archaeological museum. We get the archaeologist. It's I feel like I've said the phrase, we've got an archaeologist museum. Let's get the archaeologist. I have said that phrase more than almost any other phrase in my life at this point. It is almost a catchphrase for me at this point because I just love archaeologists. If your girl is an archaeologist, watch out, all right? I'm coming for her. That sounds way dirtier. That sounds way dirtier than it meant to be. Coggers harassment. Not like harassment. Like steal your girl type memes, Not like harassment. Jesus. Every girl is an archaeologist because they love to dig up the past. What the fuck, dude? Oh my God. Why would you say that? Trying to get us cancelled in this chat. Maybe say time to build a potato farm every time you build a farm. You know what? That's going to be my new thing. All right. Does this work? Boom. Apparently, we just have a zombie now. Now it's a 20 strength combat unit. Interesting. When I kill things, does that turn them into zombies for me? Weird. Weird. I mean, that's pretty terrible, but also funny. It is objectively awful, but there is a nugget of hilarity in it. All right, Alsund getting blasted. We're putting Alsund on blast today, boys. Boom, boom, boom. We are one-turning cities now. I don't have a cavalry in range. Where are my horsey boys at? Get over here. I feel like this is the second potential science game in a row where just at some random point in the game, I was like, yeah, my neighbor's got to die. Which really is the Civ 6 mood, I feel like. Every game of Civ 6 gets to a point where it's just someone's dying. Who is it? Let me roll my dice of death and figure out who is going to die. We have radio, we have refining, we potentially have flight and advanced flight. I think I will pick up flight and steel. Maybe I'll steal first so I can get up this. Did I actually find any oil? I found some oil over here. And I found a little bit of oil in the lake. So where is my nearest builder? I'll need to get a builder. Sosibaka, get me a builder. Pure ideology is next. Ooh, do I want to be democracy or do I want to be fascist this game? Communism lines up best with a science victory. Democracy is the most based, however, because it gives you that extra trade route thing and the gold purchasing, which is kind of neat. Did everybody in this game except for Potato go for Void Singers? Actually, I think they might have. Void Singers, Elsma Nerva, Hermetic Order, Void Singers, Void Singers, Void Singers. Half of the game's empires are Void Singers. AI loves its culture victories. AI is a man after my own heart. All right, boom. We took Alsund, and because we have the supply convoy, This train don't stop. We're going all the way to Sarpsborg. We can already begin shooting at this turn. We're keeping the city. We're taking everything and leaving him with nothing. You don't even have your granary and watermill, you absolute hooligan. Hooligans, I swear. A shower of hooligans playing this game. Democracy is better for science because you get science boosts from alliances. Mate, do you see me being like elbow deep up Norway's butthole? Do you think I'm going to be getting any alliances for the rest of this game when everyone in the game is going to hate me when I murder them? It's not happening. Ding, ding, ding. Time for a railway check-in. Most of my empire now is hooked up. Just the city of Call Me Kevin isn't hooked up to the railway. But he's from Cork, which is kind of like true to life, because who the hell takes the train to Cork? Let's be honest. Oh, I don't know where he is now. Who knows where he's gone? He's willing to make peace. I refuse. I'll probably just leave him with the last city of Hamar. Boom. 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 Leave him with no cities. Why not go all the way? Because the city of Hamar will likely flip and kill itself because it won't have enough loyalty. And if I actually am the person who wipes him out and takes his last city, I will generate a massive amount of grievances with the entire world. Whereas if I just take his cities, I only get grievances against Norway. Other people might be a little bit upset because, oh, you've got grievances from other players. But if I leave Norway mostly alive, it's just them who will be mad at me for the rest of the game. Kill it for the golden era points. You really need it. I don't know if we're reading the same graph, my dude. Graph. Look, I'm already 10, 17 over or whatever. I don't know what to do with my zombie. I'm a proud owner of a zombie now. And I don't know what to do with it. Don't you really love zombies? They get stuck in your head. Oh, for God's sake, get in your head. Zombie. Time for some promotions. Boom, shells. You step one tile to the left and shoot the city. You step one up left and shoot the city. You step one tile to the left and shoot the city. We'll slam a cavalry unit into it so the city can't retaliate anymore. And then we will keep on keeping on. No, somebody stole the Ruhr Valley from me. That bastard. How dare they? Boom, boom. Put 1 point into Geneva and Mittle, and boom, we're up to 260 science per turn. Which is Norway's capital? Nidaros is Norway's capital. I have already taken their cities. I might take everything except Nidaros, cede that back to him, and then let it flip to me, which is the disgusting scumbag move that I plan to pull. Oh, the zombie killed itself on the twins. Lovely. Free zombies. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your contribution to Irish society. Contribution. Oh, Mary Leakey. One of my favorite great people, specifically for tourism victories. She's absolutely a completely useless weapon for any other victory type. So someone else can have her, as far as I'm concerned. You can turn zombies into cores? Really interesting. Deep knowledge that I was not aware of. If you are wrong, Samuel Irwin, about being able to core zombies together, you will be banned. You have put your account on the line today, and you will be judged. And if you are found wanting, I will not hesitate to press the button. I will not blink. You have gambled with your life today. The perfect opportunity to test the theory. Boom. Are you fucking joking? Do zombies make zombies? My zombies don't make zombies. Okay, we'll have to test the theory next turn. You live, Samuel Irwin. One more day. I was there when you asked if you could aqueduct volcanoes, and I was there when you asked if the twins could take zombies. Samuel Irwin, a man who only takes gambles that he has a 99% chance of winning or 100%, because if he's right here, he's getting VIP'd in Twitch chat. Samuel, do you have a Twitch account? Oh, you're on YouTube chat. Never mind. He will get the bestowed mystical title of a man of knowledge. You will become a trusted. You'll become part of the trusted brain trust, and almost an employee, but you're unpaid. Just keep that in mind, that it is an unpaid internship in my YouTube channel, where you get the respect and love and adoration of the people who watch this channel. Next turn, your fate is decided. Oh, okay. Samuel, a man of truth. A man of truth. He spoke no lie. You can, in fact, combine the zombies into a singular, wholesome unit. Well done, Samuel. You have earned... Send me a DM on Discord. You've earned the role, okay? If you have a Twitch account, you would be VIP. You're part of the brain trust, okay? You passed the test. Your knowledge of the deep magics was foretold. Well done. You said something that I didn't know in chat, and you weren't wrong. Do you know how rare this is? You may actually be the chosen one. I'm not going to lie. It is so rare for us to encounter an intellect that encompasses such a vast quantity of the civilization universe. Actually, I think it's time to end this war. So, right, we'll take Christian Sans. We'll keep the city. Next turn, we'll peace him out. We'll take every city except for Nidaros, and then we will let him die a slow and painful death. All hail the zombie whisperer. Correct. That is what Steve shall be known as. What was it? Stephen? Oh God, I've forgotten his name. Samuel Irvin. Steve. Where did I get Steve from? I think my brain was just like, it's Steve Irwin. What's the maintenance cost of zombies? The maintenance cost of zombies is 1 gold. Norway. We have traveled many a miles through the blood of your people to take your lands from you. The only city I don't want is Christian Sand, I'm pretty sure. I will return... No, Nidaros. I will return Nidaros to you for one very specific reason, because I don't want to take the grievances of holding that city and they bleed away faster. I want my spy back. I want every ounce of gold that you have. I want all of your Diplo favor, although they don't give you anything more than 20 because it's annoying. And I want every ounce of gold your civilization ever made. All right, there's the peace. We got our spies back. We took most of his cities. Boom. And so the reason we didn't take his capital is because if you own somebody's capital, it slows how quickly your grievances drain with that player. Now, my grievances are draining at a reasonable rate, right? -5 per turn. That's a pretty good rate. So these will drain away, and we'll get the city anyway in the near future. It'll just be ours. He's not going to be getting a golden age. I'm getting a golden age. I'm getting a giga golden age, right? I'm 20 points over here. It's a ridiculous amount to be over. I think, though, the war with Norway will conclude this episode. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.